school, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I got my lunch packed up, my boots tied tight. I hope I don't get in a fight.
Well, here goes nothing.
Hey guys, it's Emily, and today's video is going to be my freshman advice video and basically how to survive high school as a freshman. This is my first video for my back to school series, so remember to thumbs up if you want to see more videos for this back to school series. So some of you guys know I'm going to be a junior this year in high school, so I have had my share of freshman year. So I'm not saying I'm an expert at this type of stuff, but I kind of know how it goes. So I'm just going to give you guys my advice and tips for how to survive and just how to get through your first year in high school. So I know freshman year honestly is a big thing because you're going from middle school to a whole different environment to high school, and that can be kind of scary. I can truly and honestly tell you guys that these 4 years of your high school will be the best school experience of your life, and you will have a blast. Just my 2 years so far has got me through high school, and honestly I can't wait for my junior year and senior year. Like, high school gives you so many different opportunities that you don't necessarily get in middle school. So to start out, I'm going to just talk about school in general. So first, you guys are basically starting up from a middle school and going to a high school. My middle school was a pretty decent size, so I mean going from my middle school to my high school that I'm at now wasn't really a huge dramatic change for me, but some people's middle schools are pretty small compared to what the high school levels could be. So right away when you get to your high school, you want to right away learn the school and you want to know the school. If you know the school, you will feel a little bit more confident. So once you figure out what classes you are taking and what rooms they're going to be in, you want to make sure that you know where each individual class is, and you kind of want to plan ahead, which my school has, I think, like an open house where you can do that, and I'm pretty sure that any high school has something like that where you get the opportunity to do this. And a little bit of what my first time going into my high school was, and just kind of learning where everything was. When I first started my freshman year, when I went into my school and my high school is this huge school. It is 2 stories, but like, it's huge. When I first went in there, I thought I was going to get lost, and I thought I would forget where my classes were. My school actually comes with like this little map that you could like highlight and stuff, and some schools have that, some don't, but we want to make sure where every single class of yours is. It will definitely help you out though if you know where your classes are and you kind of know your surroundings a little bit, so it's not like you're just walking into something brand new that you've never even seen before. So now I'm just going to get into your first day and official day of high school. So everyone obviously is so anxious. They don't know if they're going to know anybody because it's a huge environment, and you feel like you're not going to have any friends, you won't have places to sit at lunch, and you just feel like you're just this little tiny person in this huge school, which is totally understandable. And then also on the first day, you're worried you're going to be late to classes, and then you're going to get yelled at or something like that. So on the first day of high school, if you are late to any classes, they honestly don't care the first like week or 2 weeks of school, because they know that freshmen, and not even just freshmen, every grade is just kind of figuring out their schedule during those week to 2 weeks. And if you guys are late on your first day of high school to a certain amount of classes, they won't care on your first day, and even the first week they kind of cut you some slack, especially if you are a upcoming or incoming freshman, because they know you've never been at the school before. But once that week to 2 weeks is gone, you do need to make sure you are on time to classes, otherwise then it will start to be a problem. Another thing people are worried about on their first day of school is basically how to fit in, especially freshmen, because they go from middle school to high school and it's a totally new environment. It's like something totally different. Middle school and high school is 2 different things, and they maybe came from middle school dressing a certain way, trying to fit in there, but then once they come to high school, they really don't know how to dress and they don't know how they're supposed to fit in. My advice for you is honestly be yourself. Dress in what makes you comfortable. Dress in what makes you you. Basically, your first day of high school is showing who you are, and that is how people for the whole rest of the year and your whole basically high school experience, this is how people are going to view you based on your first day. I don't mean this to sound very rough or kind of scary, but you just want to be you. You don't want to be someone you're not. Otherwise, people are going to see you as somebody that you may not be at all, but that's the way you are showing it. Everyone in high school, that's all they want to do. They want to fit in, but you want to make sure that you are you. Otherwise, you're going to be with the wrong crowd, or you could end up being with the wrong crowd. And honestly, the first week of high school is this huge like fashion statement where everyone's trying to look their best, but to be completely honest, probably by the second or at least 3rd week of high school, everyone is honestly just wearing like hoodies and sweatpants and just like messy bun, just don't care, and you dress kind of like bummy, I guess. That's just kind of what I say. I'm bumming it that day. That's what a lot of people do in high school. You will at least see someone bumming it like once a week. I at least bum it once a week, or maybe even twice a week, depending on, especially if you have like tests during the week. You want to just kind of dress casual and comfy. So now I'm going to move on into the whole friend situation. A lot of people go into high school not knowing too many people. Like for me, I at least knew like 5 of my friends, because I knew from middle school that I was going to have 5 people, or about 5 people going to my high school that I knew. And depending on how big your high school is, 5 people might be, well, 5 people. My high school is huge, so those 5 people could be in total separate classes. And once people get their schedules, they're always like, who has classes with me? Who has classes with me? But once you're in high school, that really doesn't matter, because no matter where you go, you probably won't have classes with your friends. But I can honestly say that high school is where you meet a whole bunch of new people, so don't be afraid if you don't have too many friends going into your high school that you know of, because say they went to a whole different high school. By the end of the year, you will probably be friends with like the whole class. I seriously had none of my friends in any of my classes, and it kind of sucked. I kind of started talking to new people in my classes, and now I can honestly say I am best friends with certain people that I just met my freshman year, and I'm still friends with them going into my junior year. The biggest advice I could give you guys is make sure that you guys get involved with activities, clubs, and sports. Especially since you guys are freshmen, that is the best way, and I'm honestly saying this is the best way to make friends your freshman year. And especially if a sport starts before school starts, that's definitely the way to go if you are a upcoming freshman, because then you will actually meet people before school actually starts. Like if it is a end of summer type sport, like tennis for me starts already this August, and school doesn't start till September. So if a freshman is joining tennis, they get to have a little bit of experience of friendship and high school before it even begins. So those groups and sports just kind of bring people together. And I actually didn't start doing any sports or anything until my sophomore year, and that is when I started my tennis and soccer. And I do regret not doing tennis my freshman year, because like you guys, I was scared to get involved with anything because I wasn't gonna know anyone, and I do regret it now that I didn't. I'm not saying my life or my high school experience would be better, but it just would have been nice doing something my freshman year and getting involved. And then I was asked if you should be friends with upperclassmen. I can honestly say when I was a freshman, I did have upperclassmen friends. I did not going in like my first month or 2 of high school, but after that I kind of branched out, because you are going to have classes with not only your 9th grade freshman friends or whatever. Some classes you will be mixed, and there could be like freshmen with juniors, or there's a study hall, or if you're taking AP classes as a freshman, you will definitely have upperclassmen mixed in there with you, so there is a chance to be friends with upperclassmen. I wouldn't recommend like your first week or your first like maybe few months necessarily like hoping for an upperclassman friend, because that's not what you want. You don't want to be like, please be my friend, you're an upperclassman, you know, I'll get more friends this way. When I was a freshman, I was friends with juniors. I had like no sophomore friends because I didn't know anyone that was going to be sophomore, and I didn't know anyone that was going to be a senior either. So I was friends with juniors, and then my sophomore year, which was last year, I was friends with then seniors. And then I was also friends with juniors. It kind of just depends on what grade you're going to be in and kind of who you're friends with. Upperclassmen are a good thing to be friends with, because it is just something a little different. But once you get older too, lower classmen, I guess you could call them, like freshmen, since I am a junior now, being friends with like sophomores and freshmen, it actually is a good experience too. So now that I am a junior, I had people graduate that were my senior friends and junior friends from freshman and sophomore year, so now they are now graduated, so I won't be seeing them this year, which is kind of sad, but it was nice just knowing them for the 2 years I had high school. But now I do have some freshman, sophomore, and now senior friends. So at my high school, we have 3 different lunch periods. There's first lunch, second lunch, and third lunch. So that is 3 different lunches that your friends could be in a total different lunch than you are. And for your first day of high school, that might be the case where you don't know anyone, so you kind of sit alone that day. Just sit next to another person who doesn't have anyone either, and you guys could turn out being the best of friends, because just like you, they don't know anyone in that lunch either, so you guys might as well sit together. And then you can kind of branch out and have more people, and you will most likely meet a whole bunch of new people in your classes that you'll talk to, and then you will find someone who is in the same lunch as you. Some other advice then for high school is the teachers are going to be a little bit more strict. Not on obviously like the first week of school or the first month, but after like the first month of school, they do start, you know, doing actual school, and it is a little bit different from middle school because teachers expect more from you since you are now in high school. But don't let that discourage you. They do just want the best from you, and because from your freshman year to your senior year, you will honestly be a whole different person, and hopefully in a good way. So another thing is high school is a lot of drama. If you guys thought middle school is drama, yeah, high school, there's nothing really changed there. High school is just drama too, because it's just basically the same people coming from middle school going to high school. If you want to stay out of the drama, make sure you aren't friends with somebody that basically is just total drama. It's kind of advice for basically your whole high school year. Do not wait till the last minute to do projects, schoolwork, papers. Don't wait till last minute to do any of that. Do not do that at all. Do not procrastinate, because I can honestly say I am a procrastinator. I've done it basically my whole school life, I guess, in general, but I'm starting to get better at that, because if you procrastinate and wait till the last minute on stuff, you aren't going to get the best grade, and then you're up all night doing whatever you could have when you had like a week or two to do it. And that's the thing, teachers also, they don't expect you to have something done in like a day or two. They give you like a week to do it, or depending on what project it is, the time kind of varies. Just make sure that you have good time management with that type of stuff, and same with homework. No one wants to do homework, but make sure you do your homework basically, because otherwise you will probably not do the best in that certain class if you test and quizzes and stuff like that. So it does end up helping you out. So things will get a little bit stressful depending on what classes you have, with projects all being done or due at once. That is a little bit stressful too, so that's why I'm saying huge thing is time management. So that is it for my first back to school series video, which was my freshman advice. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Remember to thumbs up if you like this video, and if you want to see more to my back to school series. If you have any questions or comments based on the things I said, or if you just have more questions in general about high school, I will definitely comment down below and reply to your guys' comments, because high school is a big thing. I guarantee that these 4 years of high school are going to be the best school years of your life, so don't get yourself too worked up about it. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope my advice helped, and I'll see you guys in my next video.